Hi, how is everyone out there doing? This is Amy Hamilton, and I am here today with the marvelous Mel Kelly, episode 5 of Disastrous Dating Advice. Mel Kelly is a self proclaimed disastrous dating coach and author of Top Tips for Dating Disasters in Germany. Welcome, Mel.
Hi, Amy. Thanks for having me. Thanks for meeting up. And yes, my name is Mel Kelly. I have written the book, Top Tips for Dating Disasters in Germany, and I am a self-appointed dating disasters coach. If you want to have a more disasters with your dating, tune in here. Stay, listen to me. I can give you the worst advice that you could possibly get anywhere in the world.
So, Mel, episode 5, we've talked about some crazy topics. We've talked about wearing shorts with your hairy legs on the first date. Who pays for the date?
Yeah.
I mean, there's some legit things we've talked about. Intercultural dating. And what we want to say is this isn't just limited to Germany. I'm an American. Mel is an Irishman in Germany. We have friends from all over the world. We've traveled together in different places. Dating disasters are international. They are just so not limited to America. And they're not limited to Germany or Ireland or the fact of Mel's bad dating in general. So everybody can have dating disasters.
Not just me.
So, Mel, we're going to talk about this magic device here, the cell phone.
Right? Oh, my goodness, yes.
And a lot of people now, they meet for the first time through a dating app.
Okay.
And from the dating app, either through the app itself or they get exchange numbers, they start texting. How long should, and this came from one of our viewers, should you text before going on an actual date?
Oh, it's a good question. You see, I remember a time of dating before there was dating apps. Before there was even mobile phones. I remember this time. I don't know. Do you remember?
Like passing notes in second grade. Do you like me? Yes or no? Like, we had this thing called paper.
I remember a time before mobile phones. Oh, I hate to admit it. But yes, but we're now social dating apps, text, how often before you meet? I would say don't overdo it. Don't be texting for months and months. I mean, you're texting for months or messaging for months and months. I mean, that's rubbish. It's rubbish. It's just you got to be trying to meet the person face to face and within, I don't know, a couple of days, couple of weeks, couple of whatever. I mean, but if you leave it a couple of months, what are you doing? You're trying to run 10 girls at the same time, run 10 guys at the same time. I don't know, Amy. What about you?
So here's kind of my thoughts. I like it to be a little bit of like an evolution, like a project.
A project?
Okay. So dating as a project is going to be a topic one day, and you're going to dispel me of these notions. That's your job. But my thing is, first I want to meet you on the app a little bit, exchange a little bit in that kind of safe zone before I give you like any kind of personal information. And then I kind of like to text a few times on our personal phones after we've exchanged numbers. And then I want a phone call because I don't want to meet you if you can't have a conversation with me. And then after the phone call, then I want to actually meet you.
Like, your filter.
It's like
It's a filter.
Yes.
Wow.
That's my thoughts. But what do you think about that?
That's very scientific. It's very scientific. It's very methodical. I mean, you have it all filtered out. I mean, what guy can jump through that hoops? I mean, my goodness, how is anyone going to survive all those filters?
Well, I mean, I go on a lot of first dates.
I like the way you say first dates, not date. First dates. Okay.
Yeah.
So but does that mean a lot of second? Does that mean a lot of second dates or just a lot of first dates?
I would say it's kind of mixed because I mean that first date, like you said, there's a lot of things that can go wrong on a first date.
Yeah, many.
And then as you get to know people, you have to figure out, is this right for me? Is this right for you? Do we want to keep, you don't want to waste somebody's time and you want to be respectful. So if you kind of know from the first date, sometimes there's no point of a second date, and then sometimes you're like, oh well, maybe they're nervous. Maybe I should give them a chance for a second date. But on the texting, I have had experiences as well as several of my friends. And this is regardless of age, regardless of color and nationality. I've spoken to, various, and I will say most of this has all been women. Almost, I would say 98% of these discussions is the fact that they start, messaging someone and they end up as their pen pal.
Pen pal, okay. And who's turned them into the pen pal? Has the girl turned the guy into the pen pal, or the guys turned the girl into the pen pal?
And that's a really great question. Is should a woman Just say, hey, when are we going to meet for coffee? Or is that too bold?
Oh, that's the
Right?
difficult. That is the difficult question because our culture, our society, Western culture dictates, most or 99% of our cultures dictates the guy has to make that bold move. And if the girl makes that bold move to say, let's meet for a coffee or let's meet, what
That's
happens then?
right. And so there's a good question. One of my girlfriends said how she likes to handle the situation is she will throw out, some coffee shop is like her favorite coffee shop or restaurant or
So
whatever.
she's baiting it.
Right.
She's throwing out the fishing rod, for the bait. Okay.
So is that a good technique?
Does it work for her?
Well, do you think that would work internationally and culturally? What do you think?
I think that's not bad. I mean, this is the challenge. I mean, I have many female friends, and they have this dilemma as well. It's if they like a guy, can they be the ones to first say, let's meet for a coffee or let's meet for a drink? I mean, can the girl say that? Of course, the girl can say that, but does it upset the dating process?
Right. Where does that go long term? Oh, that goes into. We can do a study on how many women ask the guy out first and where does it go? Does it lead to anything long term?
Yeah, I have a friend of mine back home in Ireland, and it was a girl who made the first move, asked him out. They ended up married. They're married now 20 years now, kids, the whole lot, the whole shebang. So it is possible, but I would say as a general rule, unfortunately, the girl has to kind of wait.
Okay, what about when you're texting the guy?
The girl has to wait for the guy to make that next move.
How long should you wait between texts?
This is the challenge. Like, it's like if you meet somebody on a dating app, or you meet somebody at a party, or you meet somebody through a network or whatever, you're at something and you get talking to them, and then you get their number. It's perhaps a slightly different starting point to when you make a contact on a dating app. But I would say, I mean, in my opinion, girls are much more strategic about this than guys are. And what I would say is, so if the guy makes first contact and he says waits 2 days, let's say, and then the girl will wait probably 2 days as well. And if the guy writes 10 words in the message, the girl will write 8 words in her message. Whereas women are much more strategic about these things, I think, than men are. Men are just more like, well, whatever, I was just writing a message and whatever. Whereas I think women pay much more attention to response time and length of message and what's the sentiment in the message and the tone. I don't know. What do you think?
I've listened to this, and this is a very good question. I think it's an intercultural question. Like, some people are like, for the amount of time that they take to respond, you have to wait double. That seems to be a standard. And there's a lot of nuances to it. The question is what are you comfortable with? For me, I think I throw caution to the wind, and I'm like, if you let's just do this unfiltered. You said, I do have my filters, but at the same time, if you don't like me for who I am, then it's probably not going to work out long term, right? Because eventually you have to get to that point where you're moving from first dates and second dates into that relationship phase, and you can't always fake it. So kind of like we talked about with first dates, you want to be on your best behavior, but you want to be on your genuine behavior.
Yeah. So, I mean, the thing is, how long? I mean, you say you get a number on a social app or a party. I would say you should not text that night. Okay? Don't text the same day. Okay?
But I want to caveat that.
Yeah.
No.
No.
I'm gonna give you the one caveat that I have found that works for people.
Well, you could say, hey, cool to meet you or something like that. That's
better than that.
Oh, no.
No, let me finish. This works well, especially in American culture where we have a lot of safety and crime issues.
Okay.
Is a lot of times people will say, can you text me when you get home so I know you get home safe?
That's not
and that's a caveat, because that way you can break that kind of rule, because it's like, I care about you enough to care that you get home safe. But now you get that first message kickoff.
Yes.
What's your thoughts on this, Mel?
That's not bad. But depending on the follow-on from that, like the thing is do you wait a day? Do you wait 6 months for the next message? I mean, the thing is, I would say
6 months.
Well, no, that's the point. The point is, if you wait 6 months, that's
I'm sorry, I was in a coma. I didn't get a chance to message you for 6 months.
Have you never heard that one? Have you never heard that line?
I'm sorry, it's on the International Space Station. Perhaps you saw me.
There you go. That's a pretty good one, So you've got the 6 months is obviously way too long. Say 6 minutes is way too short. So the question is like, that's a nice one that you did there. You got home, okay, that's not bad. But then it's like the follow on from a day or two.
A day or two, and then probably a first date by the next weekend. Is that legit, or how many weeks can go by?
It doesn't have to be the next weekend, but within 2 or 3 weeks, I would say would be good. You have to be showing. Oh, but then it comes into when is the day? What day of the week is the date?
Oh, that's an important nuance.
Oh, yeah. I mean, because you can't be meeting somebody for a first date on a Friday or Saturday. No. Oh, no, you can't be doing that. Like, so this is the thing, is you can't be giving away your prime social nights to just some new random person that you've met. I mean, can't say.
What about an afternoon coffee on a Saturday?
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. That'll be okay. But it's short. But not your Friday or your Saturday night. You should be out, having better things to do. But back to how long should you be? The text, a week or 2 or 3, but not if it's much more than that. That's probably too long.
So Mel, this is some good advice. It's always fun to listen to you. And our next episode 6, we're going to do something daring, and we're going to be talking about when are you ready for sleepover dates?
The pajama party. For the pajama party.
And I think that's really a nuanced question. So I'm looking forward to that. Thank you so much, Mel.
It's been great. Thank you so much.
And once again, I'm Mel Kelly, internationally renowned author. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Amy, internationally renowned project manager. See you guys next week.